The Heisman Trophy, college football's most sacred award. It's supposed to crown the best of the best, the next great legend, the player destined to rule Sundays. But for every Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, or Derrick Henry, there's another story. A story of promise that burned too fast, of fame that came too early, of greatness that never made it off campus. This is the Heisman Curse. Every December, college football crowns a king. A player who carried his team, dominated the headlines, and etched his name into the sport's history. But the Heisman carries a strange shadow. Because for many winners, that golden statue becomes a burden. It raises expectations higher than any athlete can sustain. And when those expectations collide with the brutal reality of the NFL, legends become cautionary tales. These are 10 stories of college greatness that couldn't survive the pros, not because of a lack of talent, but because of everything that comes after fame. 1. Johnny Football, the meteor that crashed. 2012 was Johnny Football's year. Texas A&M's redshirt freshman took the SEC and America by storm. He was chaos in motion, juking Alabama defenders, celebrating mid-play, turning broken downs into highlights. He wasn't just good, he was box office. The first freshman ever to win the Heisman, Manziel looked like a hybrid of Favre's fearlessness and Vic's electricity. But behind the flash, a storm brewed. When Cleveland drafted him in 2014, they thought they were getting a savior. What they got was a headline. Off-field parties, TMZ clips, substance issues. Johnny Football became bigger than Johnny Manziel. By 2016, his NFL career was over. He started just 8 games, threw 7 touchdowns, and became a living parable. Fame without foundation always collapses. 2. Robert Griffin III, the Comet. Few college players ever captivated the world like RG3. In 2011, Baylor's Robert Griffin III was electric. 4,293 yards, 37 touchdowns, 4.41 speed. He made football look like poetry in motion. Drafted second overall in 2012, he stormed into the NFL like a superhero. Rookie of the Year, division title. The city of Washington reborn in belief. Then came the hit, a devastating knee injury that changed everything. Griffin rushed back too soon. His confidence shattered. His mechanics deteriorated. Within 3 seasons, he was gone. RG3 wasn't defeated by the league. He was defeated by time, by the fragile line between brilliance and destruction. 3. Tim Tebow, the legend who couldn't fit. No one in college football history was bigger than Tim Tebow. The 2007 Heisman winner was the heartbeat of Urban Meyer's Florida Gators. 2 national championships, fiery speeches, biblical faith, and a fan base that treated him like a saint. He wasn't just a quarterback, he was a movement. Drafted by Denver in 2010, Tebow defied logic. His mechanics were awkward, his throwing motion slow, but his will to win was unmatched. In 2011, he led Denver to a playoff win over the Steelers, throwing an overtime strike that still gives fans chills. But magic only lasts so long. NFL defenses solved him. His accuracy issues couldn't be masked. By 2012, Tebow was gone. He became a broadcaster, a baseball player, even tried a comeback. But his story remains bittersweet. A man built to inspire, just not in the way the NFL demands. 4. Matt Leinart, the prince who lost his crown. In 2004, USC wasn't just a football team, it was Hollywood. And Matt Leinart was its leading man. Tall, poised, movie star calm, Leinart won the Heisman, 2 national titles, and looked destined to be the next great NFL quarterback. When Arizona drafted him 10th overall in 2006, expectations were sky high. But the lights of the league are different from college. Leinart's confidence eroded. He was benched for Kurt Warner, criticized for work ethic, and never regained his swagger. Across 6 seasons, he threw just 15 touchdowns. For a man who once ruled college football's biggest stage, the fall was steep, proof that poise under palm trees doesn't always translate to pressure under lights. 5. Troy Smith, the general without a command. In 2006, Troy Smith was the calm in Ohio State's storm. Efficient, accurate, and in total control, he led the Buckeyes to the BCS title game and claimed the Heisman with ease. But the NFL didn't see a general. They saw a quarterback who didn't fit the mold. Too short, too methodical, too slow for the league's pace. Drafted in the 5th round by Baltimore, Smith never got a real chance. He started just 8 games in 4 seasons before drifting out of the league. Sometimes the curse isn't arrogance or injury. Sometimes it's the simple cruelty of projection, when the world decides you can't before you ever get to prove you can. 6. Andre Ware, the system star. 1989 was Andre Ware's year of fireworks. Houston's run-and-shoot offense was ahead of its time. 4 wide receivers, a quarterback slinging it everywhere, and defenses left gasping. Ware threw for 4,699 yards and 46 touchdowns, winning the Heisman in a landslide. Detroit took him 7th overall, hoping his college magic would translate. But the run and shoot didn't exist in the NFL. The Lions forced Ware into a pro-style system that stripped away everything that made him special. He started just 6 games, threw 5 touchdowns, and was gone before anyone knew how to use him. Andre Ware wasn't a bust. He was a time traveler who arrived too early. 7. Rashaan Salaam, the fallen prodigy. In 1994, Rashaan Salaam was unstoppable, over 2,000 rushing yards. Colorado's first Heisman winner. Grace and power in perfect balance. As a rookie with Chicago, he looked ready to follow in Walter Payton's footsteps, over 1,000 yards and Rookie of the Year honors. Then came the injuries, then the fumbles, then the frustration. Within 3 years, his NFL career was over. Years later, Salaam admitted that depression and personal struggles haunted him long after the spotlight faded. In 2016, he was found dead at 42. A heartbreaking reminder that not all battles are fought on the field. Rashaan Salaam's story isn't about failure. It's about fragility and how success can sometimes break those who reach it too fast. 8. Danny Wuerffel, the system quarterback. Steve Spurrier's fun and gun offense at Florida was a revolution. And in 1996, Danny Wuerffel was its maestro, precise, disciplined, and deadly efficient. He won the Heisman and a national title, etching his name into Gator lore. But the NFL isn't built for timing routes and college spacing. Drafted in the 4th round by New Orleans, Wuerffel struggled from the start. His arm was limited. His mechanics couldn't beat NFL speed. He started just 10 games before the league moved on. Like so many before him, Danny Wuerffel was a victim of context, a player who needed the perfect system to thrive but found only chaos. 9. Eric Crouch, the quarterback who refused to change. Nebraska's Eric Crouch was college football's ultimate weapon in 2001, a quarterback who ran the option like art. Fast, fearless, adored by fans, he rushed for 1,100 yards, threw for over 1,500 more, and won the Heisman in dominant fashion. But the NFL had no place for an option quarterback. The Rams drafted him, then tried to convert him to wide receiver, then safety. Crouch refused. He wanted to play quarterback or nothing, so he walked away, before ever playing a single NFL down. Some saw stubbornness, others saw integrity, but either way, Crouch's career became another entry in the Heisman's long list of what-ifs. 10. Ty Detmer, the journeyman genius. At BYU, Ty Detmer was a machine. 5,000 yards, 41 touchdowns. A football savant who saw defenses like a chessboard. But the NFL didn't care about numbers. Detmer was drafted in the 9th round and spent 14 years as a backup. He started here and there. 54 touchdowns, 55 interceptions. The definition of journeyman. Detmer's story isn't about failure, but limitation. He had the brain, the timing, the touch, but not the arm strength to master Sundays. Sometimes genius isn't enough. The Heisman Trophy is more than gold. It's a symbol. It represents excellence, but also expectation. In college, these players were gods. On Saturdays, their names echoed across campuses like gospel. But Sundays are different. The game is faster, colder, crueler. Manziel had fame. Tebow had faith. Leinart had glamour. RG3 had speed. But none had what the NFL demands most: longevity under fire. The Heisman Curse isn't supernatural. It's human. It's what happens when talent meets pressure before maturity can catch up. For every curse, though, there's a counterpoint. Burrow, Jackson, Henry, Caleb Williams. Proof that the story can still be rewritten. But for these 10, the curse wasn't a myth. It was real. They touched greatness and found out it burns. If you love forgotten legends, shocking downfalls, and the untold stories of football's biggest what-ifs, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Who's the next great Heisman winner destined to test the curse? Drop your thoughts below. Peace out.